Herb. Herb is a plant. I mean, herbs are good for everything. Herb.
Welcome to Eugene Cannabis TV, episode 628. You got your host here, DanK, and a special guest. We have Keith, who's with us from the Eugene Compassion Center. Well, actually, now the title is Compassion Center. It's not Eugene Compassion Center, even though you're at Eugene.
Yes, Compassion Center.
Compassion Center, right. And been around for many years. And I really appreciate you coming down, Keith. I'm associated with, I've been associated with Compassion Center for years and known many, many people that have worked there. And so I appreciate coming in, and I'm glad you're here to tell us. And the biggest thing is, I want to hear about the Compassion Center, but the first thing is, I don't want to take away, is the fact is, what kind of profit are they making?
Oh, we're a nonprofit, Dan. And thanks for bringing that out.
Yeah.
We are the only nonprofit medical marijuana clinic in Lane County. There are a few other ones in the state. But that's one of the things that we like to thrive at the Compassion Center. A few things that I like to say. I've been working there for about 9 years now. And Compassion Center is, like I said, there's been a lot of wonderful people coming through the center there. A lot of different executive directors. And gosh, and I'm proud to say that I'm the current executive director, and pretty proud to do that. Gosh, it's just one of the things I like to talk about is, first of all, I'll just tell you our hours. You know, we're open Tuesday through Friday. Our hours are 10 to 4:30, and we have clinics every Thursday and Friday. So we stay pretty busy here, Dan.
Yeah, that's great. And the nonprofit aspect, I could appreciate that. I've been running a hemp fest since 2003. 2003. It's or 2013. I'll get it straight. One of these. No, I'm going to get it straight yet. 2003. But anyway, trying to run a business on all volunteers. That is a challenge.
Yes, it is really challenging.
Wow. But at the same time, you know the kind of people that volunteer for that. You know that they've got pretty good hearts, and you met some fantastic people, and then the nonprofits, I'll guarantee you.
Yeah, Dan. Actually, our volunteers is what really makes us at the Compassion Center. Like you said, for the people to come out and volunteer, their heart is in it. And yeah, we really love our volunteers there. We do have to keep a staff on board just for our clinics and when we are running. But yeah, it's just wonderful, the people and our patients. And gosh, like I said, the Compassion Center has been around for about 16 years here in Lane County. So since 2001. So that's just really, really awesome. I'm really glad to be part of it.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. And well, what kind of obstacles are you facing now? I mean, especially the legalization, I would think it'd be what kind of changes?
Well, along with the legalization, our biggest obstacle right now is the fees, the patient and grower fees. They're just too high. They introduced that $200 grower fee, and a lot of the growers are taking on that responsibility, but then again, half of the growers are pushing that $200 fee back onto the patients. So that is just, it's making the program a little bit too expensive. There's probably about 90% of our people who are not renewing this year is because of the fees. They just can't do it.
Wow. I hope that's really brought up in the legislature this session.
Yes, yeah, that is one of the things. We do go to the.
Yeah, I'm I don't know which I'm more scared of: having a president, Trump, or the legislature and what they're going to do this session to the cannabis scene.
Yes.
They've already ravaged it ever since '98 when the medical came into effect.
Yes. Yeah, it's been tough, and the fees are really what's killing us now.
Yeah.
And
well, I remember the fees started out. They were supposed to be. All they were worried about was supposed to be to cover the cost of the program.
Right.
And somehow they made it into a cash cow.
Yes. Yeah, it does benefit a lot of other entities out there. At the end of the year, they give the cash out.
some of our people try to throw a good spin on it by saying, well, look, the money is being used to help other people in the state. So it's, you know, well, okay, that's a good thing. But it's always bothered me is that they're taking money from sick people. So why don't they get it, quit take so much, only take what they really need and let the sick people keep their money.
Yes, yes, that is what's happening.
That'd be unique.
And they're going to be taking the money to where they cannot enter the program next year.
Oh, yeah, and it's not only just the fee for the patient, now it's all these other hidden fees, which I've said, heard, according to finance people, these are called junk fees. Like the grower fee, that's a junk fee. It's just an excuse to make some more money bleed more money out of the system. Yeah. And now that the legislature is hurting for money big time, it's going to be a real interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because they're hurting for money. So that it's who knows how it's going to play it out, but it's you can find out here. Stay in touch. So anyway, so so positives. Say where the positives from legalization or
some of the positives that we got from the legalization was actually the PTSD becoming a qualifying condition, and that's just been wonderful for a lot of patients and a lot of our veterans. And the veterans fees, they've been brought down. It was awesome. They have reduced our veterans. They get the lowest price out there given to the patients, which is a $20 fee for the registration fee. And I love being able to tell our veterans that. They'll come in expecting to pay the great fees, and then when they find out that their $200 fee has been reduced down to $20, it's just really nice, Dan, to see some of them.
I'll bet.
High-fiving in there.
That's great. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That was one good move that I have to give them credit for, and I'm glad to see it. I remember seeing all the time disabled. Let's see, what was it? Yeah, disabled veterans that were. What was it? I don't know. I'm getting on a track. Anyway, forget about that. Back on our track. So. Yeah, so the OMMP, how would you like to see the OMMP coverage expanded? What kind of conditions would you like to see the improvements that are added?
You know, one thing that I'm really seeing a lot of is insomnia. And I believe that's might be one of the new things coming up, new qualifying condition for that. The insomnia really affects a lot of people out there, a lot of patients. And there's been slight studies that are showing that the THC is helpful with the insomnia. So it's a step in the right direction. And I'd also like to see it issues for the women's health. You got the pain, the nausea, and it's something I'd like to see, and it's a good mood stabilizer also.
And we have the undocumented cautions about using cannabis when you're pregnant.
True, yes.
And the warnings are undocumented. I mean, literally, that's not a misspeaking. That's actually true.
Yes.
There is no evidence of that, and yet we're required to let people know when they consume cannabis.
Yes, that's.
So, but insomnia, that's fascinating. That quick thing, I had a landlady one time, anti-marijuana, big time, anti-marijuana. She was having trouble sleeping because of pain. And I mentioned to her, I said, I got these cookies that a friend makes. Oh, no, I don't want to eat, and she knew that they were. So finally, one day she said, well, okay, I'll try it. So I gave it to her, and she called me about an hour later. No, take it back. No, the next day. She called me the next day, and she said, I want to give you this cookie back. And so I went over to see her, and she gave me half the cookie back.
Half, huh?
Yeah. And she says, I ate the other half. She said, it didn't taste very good. She said, it made me nauseous. She said, it made me nauseous. So I don't want to do that anymore. She said, but I slept really well.
There we go. That's.
So you said insomnia. I immediately thought of my ex-landlady. So, it's amazing. There's the Silver Tour. You heard of that?
No, I haven't.
That's a group that their focus is going from care facilities for the senior citizens and educating these people on cannabis and how it could help them and just. It's putting out information,
The education.
Tour. That's an incredible thing to do,
Yeah, the education on the cannabis is just wonderful. It's just the patients are using it, and to get the full effect of it, just a little bit of education on telling them the different strains. It's just the patients are having a remarkable change.
Oh yeah. I got to tell you, my mom, who's not a user but a supporter, she believes anyway, she's a supporter, and she was in we had to find her a daycare, an elder care facility, you know, and it was a private home, and they had several clients there, you know, and you know, I took Mom over to check it out, and she really liked it because it's a home atmosphere, you know. Anyway, as we were leaving, the lady said, "Oh, by the way," she said, "I feel I have to be honest." She says, "A couple of our patients are medical marijuana patients, and so I feel we had to let you know." And my mom says, "Oh, that won't be a problem."
Yeah, that's usually not.
So, no, yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is that place before that was the same way.
Wow.
I had one of my HempFest stickers on her wheelchair, and the staff saw that, and we're both nudging each other and pointing at it, and they said, "Oh yeah, everybody in this house uses cannabis."
Yeah, yes. Actually, now that we're talking about that, it's kind of funny. My mom, you know, is getting up there in age, and she just turned 84, and she's finding with her joints and the body, it just makes her feel a little bit better. I share my capsules with her, and they just work kind of nice. You just take that capsule, and she uses it for sleep also. And, just age related.
Yeah.
It kind of makes everything just a little bit nicer there for him.
Definitely, yeah.
And then, like I said, a little bit of that mood enhancer. You know, nothing wrong with, you know, feeling a little bit, feeling good.
Yeah, you bet. By the way, we're going to have the phone number and contact information will be going on the screen. But real quick, I wanted to ask you, how long have you been in the clinic? Been in that same location? I'm sorry, it just hit me out of the blue, and I wanted to bring it up before I forgot it.
Yeah, we've been at the same location for about 15 years now.
Okay, see, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, it's just off West 11th, one street over.
Yeah. 2055 West 12th.
Very near Garfield. No, not Garfield.
Yeah, the cross streets Garfield and Chambers?
Yeah, Garfield and Chambers. There you go. Yeah, so that area anyway. So before we forget, and then it says, and then the other thing I was thinking about is that the DEA expanding possible research opportunities in August. What is something you think that they'll find about the use of cannabis medically?
Yeah, kind of like what we were just talking about. I'd like them to do a little bit more research on the insomnia and depression. These are two really big things that are affecting our community. A lot of the patients, a lot of us have problems with the depression and insomnia, and I'd like to see them do some checking on there, do some work into that, seeing if we could get that as a qualifying condition. I mean, there's been some tests going on, and it is showing that in the right dosing that it helps with the depression. You know, so I'd like to see a little bit more testing and get a few more qualifying conditions out there along with the mental health.
Right, yeah. Well, hopefully it'll happen because we got more and more states are legalized, and so it's becoming more mainstream. So that's incrable. Well, appreciate it, Keith, for coming, and I so much appreciate coming on the show. And
you're very welcome.
That's the Compassion Center and nonprofit, so support the Compassion Center.
Yeah, come by and let us help you out and answer your questions, and our doctors are very informative, and gosh, we just love what we do.
There you go. That's great. Well, I really appreciate it. This is what we like to do: is have people on the show, tell the cannabis story, just like Keith did. Tell the cannabis story. We need to have you come back, Keith, and tell us your personal story.
Oh yes, I would love to.
So.
Are you tired of following all the rules? Ready to let loose? Have a little fun? Sounds like you need to. Get high. And with NarcoMex Incorporated, your direct-to-consumer drug trafficking solution, you can. NarcoMex values your business. That's why we're your #1 supplier of drugs, and you're our #1 consumer. These billions can't be wrong. We work hard for your business and have killed not 1, not 2, but 3 Mexican police and 2 journalists just to keep you high with that very joint. Why, our commitment to keeping you supplied has killed over 17,000 people right next door. Traffickers, soldiers, journalists, prosecutors, you name it. We're that passionate about your business. We've even begun to destroy some of your favorite tropical beach destinations. Because if you smoke enough at home, You don't even need a beach. But don't legalize it or grow it at home. Let us do the work for you. Sure, consumers boycotted evil companies, but there's no need to boycott Narcomex Incorporated, your direct-to-consumer drug trafficking solution, also offering heroin, meth, and cocaine. Narcomex Incorporated. Live a little, and forget others won't.
Welcome to the second half of Eugene Cannabis TV. You got DanK here, your host, and we got some special guests with us. We got Normal clear on the other side there. We got Normal Bean. Normal Bean is our main. He's our music guy for MFest, among other things. And then we have George Peters Walker. Almost got it.
You got the first part right.
Right, yeah. So
that's half right.
Want to jump in real quick? I had a couple of announcements here. The Cannabis Science Pub that we talk about, that's coming up on November 29th, and that's just on Tuesday, Tuesday the 29th. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. Remember, that's at OG Analytical and Oregon's Constant Gardener are putting on that show or event. And the subject is cannabis paraphernalia, past, present, and future. So it's really cool. That's the OG Analytical and Oregon's Constant Gardener puts that on, and they keep it free to the folks so you can afford to go, and it's a great event. They have trivia. You can play trivia when you first go in. They ask questions, and you can make you can try to answer the question. If you're the first one to get the answer correctly, you win a prize. After that, then they have a panel that covers the subject of what it is that night. And then they have a discussion session after that. And then the last hour is just reserved for networking and just getting to know each other and stuff, you know. Wow. So anyway, it's a really neat deal. So that's on the 29th. So I want to be sure that people found out about that. And also, I just found out the subject, so I want to pass that along. It's cannabis paraphernalia, past, present, and future. So that might be kind of interesting. And then there's some things I picked up, some images. This is a great one. Legal recreational marijuana. It shows the map of the United States, and it shows the states that have it legalized. 21% of Americans now live in states with legal recreational marijuana use.
That's a good start.
21%,
It's
exactly.
a really good beginning.
That reminds me of a T-shirt years ago. A guy local here used to put out, and it was map of the United States on a hemp T-shirt, and it had marijuana symbols for each state that had medical marijuana. Right. And then below it said, "Fill in the blanks." And of course, we have been. But anyway, and then there's one where, you know, it had a sticker or a button that people wore. It said, "I voted," trying to promote people to vote, you know. Well, I saw a parody of that, and it's, "I vomited," from this election. So it said, I voted, I vomited. And then we got the map of the United States with the red and the blue showing who voted which way, you know, and it looks even worse than the one on the TV, because the one on the TV just kind of showed that one general big red swath right through the middle of the United States. Well, this is broke down by counties, and it's even worse. It's amazing. But the biggest reason we have they ended up with the situation we did is the 45,000 people that didn't vote. But anyway, that's another issue. So welcome to the Eugene Cannabis TV.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yes, thank you. And you're not Oregonian, are you, or are you?
Well, yes, I am.
Are you are now, or you?
I think I'm about 5 generations Oregonian.
Oh, I figured you were California.
No, I was born here, and my grandmother was born here, and I think her grandmother lived here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
let me introduce him.
Long time.
We have the original Merry Prankster here, George Walker here, and this is the guy who actually thought of getting the bus. So the rest of them said, "Hey, let's get a bus." And so they got a bus, and he's the guy who did all the work on it, and so it's pretty neat, and we're learning a whole bunch of stuff from him here, and how to do lots of things. So just stay tuned, because we're going to take you on some mighty fine adventures this year.
I can only imagine, you know, and with this guy's experience, you know, it would be a trip, huh?
Well, that's what we're hoping for.
You bet.
We're going to travel around and find some cool places.
We've got a really cool adventure planned that's cannabis oriented. Mm-hmm. We're going to a lot of the places that are pro-cannabis and some that are not pro-cannabis, but basically we're carrying the banner and taking the flag out there. We have a big giant national tour that's kicking off in February. It starts down the south, and it's the Pranksters Training Wheels Tour, which we're going down through LA, going to Arizona, we're going to be in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, to Florida. So it's kind of exciting to kick off this next wave. We're looking for we're finding the cool places. George, tell us about.
Well, 50 years ago, more than 50 years ago, we went on an adventure where the Merry Pranksters were looking for a cool place. Well, we think it's time now, we're going to find it. So we're not looking anymore, we're going to just go right ahead and we're going to find cool places. And
so the question is can you find the cool place?
Can you find the cool place?
So that's the new question now. Can you find the cool place?
And so we're going to try to keep in tune with everybody as we travel around, and we're going to share these places with you and hope that you will find ways to share your cool places with us, because I think we all live in a better world if we all have cool places.
Speaking of a really cool place, this battle that me and DanK had this year with the powers that be over the Emerald Empire Hemp Fest turned out to be a really good thing, because it started what we now call the Eugene Pot Club. And the Eugene Pot Club has been really successful. It's a meeting area that we all have come together where we discuss and have a little bit of fun in the spirit of all. And we just had a party where we had all the pranksters after the acid test come over to the Eugene Pot Club, and it was a really neat get together there.
That's right. And I should explain a little bit about the Eugene Pot Club. The Eugene Pot Club is a membership required organization, and the reason for that is because of legalities. Yes. And so that's the way this day and age and the way the laws are, so we always like to be law abiding.
That's correct.
So to do that, we have the membership, and it's not really exclusive. For one thing, the membership is a penny.
Yep, 1 penny.
1 penny. And Reverend Will, by the way, paid for $199 plus his, So
yeah, a lot of people have donated ahead, so we're doing really good on club membership here. But the reason behind it is we weren't able to gather as a community and actually celebrate, and this is what we've fought for so long to celebrate. And as our culture, I mean, look at here's where we came from, Merry Pranksters, all the way to before that, to my generation, to generations afterwards. And we've all band together and we fought to make this legal.
Well, we've only been smoking it for about, what, 20,000 years now?
So, and the people's voices 30,000 were heard.
It's been a while.
So now that we go together and we're actually trying to celebrate this and forward motion, we found that we couldn't gather together. So the only way to do this was do it on private ground and to do it a private membership. So it's not that we don't want everybody, we're not trying to keep everybody out. It's really open to everyone, and we do want everyone to be a member.
We want to keep everybody in.
We want everyone in. So
that's why it's a penny.
Join the Eugene Pot Club.
If anybody can't afford it, let me know. I'll loan you a penny.
We'll help you out there.
Yeah.
But it's our way of showing
that
we can gather, and the people's voice really matters, and you really matter, and that's why we're all here. We are all one culture. We live, breathe on this earth together, as and how lucky we are. Speaking of the time with all the turmoil that's going on, the election and everything.
So tell me this, if membership was a penny, could I buy with $1, could I buy 100 memberships and then stand out in the street corner and give them away to whoever wanted them?
You sure could.
I think that would be a neat thing to do.
In fact, all kinds of people are paying ahead. So when people show up, if they don't have the penny,
well, you already paid for it.
We've got you covered.
Yeah, no, you've already been paid for it. I like that, cool.
So it's
transferable.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we talked about that one time with the Hemp Fest. Yes. We talked about hiring some volunteers to sell some free tickets.
Right. Well, so we look forward to this year. We're going to have Fan Fest. It'll be on private ground. Eugene Pot Club will sponsor that. We are going to have the Emerald Empire Hemp Fest. I went down to LA, talked to some of my friends down there. We do have sponsors coming. We've got an amazing show going to happen this year. So the bar has been raised, I can tell you that, and it's been met. So look forward to a wonderful year. We're going to do this prankster style. And which, speaking, it was a wonderful thing. George, tell us who a Merry Prankster is. Can you tell us that?
Well, it's different from what I thought it was. A year ago, Merry Prankster was me and about a couple dozen or so of my friends that had started out on this adventure over 50 years ago. But last summer I went on tour with a film, a documentary film about a trip that Zane Kesey had taken a couple years before with the Further Bus. And then I went around with him a couple years later with this film to show and then talk to people and answer questions and the like. And I found out that there are Merry Pranksters all over the country. There are thousands of them. Thousands of us. I like to think of as us. They're all of us. We're everywhere we go. There's New York Merry Pranksters, the Pennsylvania Merry Pranksters, the New England Merry Pranksters, and the Ohio Merry Pranksters, and on, the Colorado and the California and the Northwest, all these Merry Prankster groups, and they're organized in varying degrees, and they seem to have some kind of unity and quite a lot of disunity too from time to time. But I was amazed, and I thought, you know, if we could just get everybody pulling in the same direction, we're a force. And so that's kind of what it's about now for me, is to see if we can unify all these Merry Pranksters. And as far as I'm concerned, it's like being in a political party or a religion. You don't have to pass muster or pay dues. If you want to sign up and join, be a Merry Prankster.
You bet. Well, we're out of time. I really appreciate you guys coming in, and don't be a stranger. We always want you to come back and
right on.
keep
Thank
up
you.
on what's going on.
Thank you.
And,
We love Cannabis TV and everything you guys do here.
you bet. We'll appreciate it. Well, it's a labor of love, and this is it is with you guys.
I've got my cord caught here.
So yeah, we're not yet. So yeah, we're here next week, and we're always looking for guests on the show. Just like we had this week, and so let's do this again next week. We'll see you then.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.